What's up guys, it's Selka and today I'm making more of an in-depth analysis regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum in the bigger time frame. So I think this video will be pretty interesting not only if you're a trader but also an investor into the cryptocurrencies. So after this video you'll be able to understand why I do think the price will go up in 2023, why I expect an up move, and yeah, so let's get started right now. Alright, so for Bitcoin, let me put a line on 2024, so something like this, and ask you a question. So do you see this move coming down and down and down for 2024 until we reach that line? My answer is no, and the reason why is that just simply by looking this move right there, I can already smell that this is losing in momentum. This looks like it will be a reversal pretty soon, and let me tell you right now, I do see an up move that will slowly go up. So something after making a new low and breaking the last low right there, something that will go up and be slow. All right, so most likely be slow. I can see this being an impulse. I'm not sure about it, but it could happen. But most likely I'll aim for something slow and going up. All right, so something like this. Of course, I cannot know where the tops will be, where the bottoms, but overall the move will look slow like this. Compare it to this one, but bigger. All right, so I can simply, and I'll do it right now. All right, we've got time to do it. So I'll do it right now, but you can copy this. Let's copy this. And yeah, let's just copy this and make this from the top right there. So yeah, basically you've got the drop, a slow move like this. I'm expecting a slow move like this, all right, from the bottom that we've get. So a slow move that will come up, and I don't say it will reach 40k, I don't say it will reach 30k. I have no clue where it will reach. The only thing I know is that we're looking for a slow move up, and the reason why is simply because all this impulse from the top needs to be corrected somewhere. Sometime it will be corrected, and when you see this structure from the top, you can clearly see that the moves drops having small correction. So for example, this drop, there's a small correction right there called the running flat in the wave theory. So I'll name it with the wave theory names, so you guys will see which one is what. So this one is a regular flat. So let me zoom a little bit so we see better. So first drop, then we have a running flat right there, another drop, then we have a regular flat. All right, all these names are correction. Regular flat and running flat, all these are correction that leads into another impulse in the same direction as the first one. So first impulse down, running flat, second impulse down, regular flat, another impulse. Then we have this, there's two way to name them. Either it's a triangle, either it's a regular flat with a contracting within this regular flat, so in the B wave. Both are possible. Let's just call it a regular flat simply because it's easier to understand and it looks similar to the previous one. So let's say a regular flat, then a drop, a regular flat, then a drop. Then this is a small, more like a complex structure. It's a correction, of course. It's more of a flag and having a running flat within this flag, so it's more of a correction. Then we got the drop, that running flat right there, the last one we've got before the FTX crash, and then we're in an expanding flat right now, and we're probably going to make a new low. So see how at first we had impulses, correction, impulses, and the impulses were fat, right? They were going pretty low and pretty quick, all right, compared to the impulses that we have right now. So basically we went from this to this, and what this means is that we're losing in momentum. There's less people trying to sell, less selling pressure, and more people trying to buy back in this zone. And what happened most likely in this time is that we get a trend reversal, so not in this one but more in the last one I wrote. So we get a trend reversal that leads to a new trend. So simply we start a new trend, at least for a bigger correction. At best, it's simply a new trend. So what you can learn from that is simply that this move somewhere there, all right, somewhere in this zone, this will be a reversal zone where we're going to see the price going up again, simply because, like I said, the moves that we have right there doesn't look like the move that we had right there. So we see how these impulses are sharp, are quick. Now we don't have these type of impulses, they are smaller. So based off that, I can already tell that there is probably going to have at least a bigger correction. So let's say that this, for example, at least this. All right, so let me remove those two lines so you see better. At least this before another drop, and at best it will be a bigger one. All right, so now let me tell you about it technically so you understand it. When you have this drop and you have this small regular flat, this is a correction for that drop. All right, so the correction often goes within the way it drops. All right, so if it was a big drop, then you'll have a big correction. The reason why is that this drop, for example, this drop in was quite small, then you have a correction that was quite small also. All right, and after the correction you get another impulse, often similar to the first one. Then if you zoom in time frame and you go in the weekly, the correction that you had doesn't even appear. All right, it doesn't even look like a correction. So basically in weekly, all this is the impulse, and you need a bigger correction to match the weekly impulse. All right, and that's why you got a bigger correction after that. And the correction now is correcting all the down from the top, including this small correction that we had. And then you get to see another impulse that is similar to that the first one. All right, so including the smaller corrections, similar to that one, until you get to find another correction that is similar to this one. All right, so similar or bigger, and that was this one. So that's basically technically. And even if you go on daily, you'll find out that it does happen. You have an impulse, small correction, an impulse, bigger correction, then again an impulse, small correction, an impulse, bigger correction, before you get the continuation every time. So someday, if you go on weekly and maybe monthly, so maybe I'll go on monthly to show you that someday all this impulse will have its correction. So all this impulse will have its correction, and its correction will be bigger than this one, bigger than this one, bigger than what we've all seen yet. All right, so if I go on monthly, do I see any correction? This is not even a correction anymore. That means this one also. So that's why we'll get to see a monthly move that looks more of a correction for all this drop, and someday it will happen. So that's why I think it will happen this year, I'm pretty sure. And that's what I expect. Simply, that's what I expect. And you gotta understand that this move will happen whenever you'll see this smaller move done. All right, so it's the smaller move that makes the bigger one, and as long as you have smaller correction, this up move, you cannot have this up move, simply because most of the time the small move that you will have will match another move that will complete the correction, for example. And as long as you don't have a fresh new move that start a fresh new trend, you'll probably be stuck in correction and makes new low until you get the move that you get. All right, so for example, right there, I was not expecting this new trend that we see in the daily chart, simply because you had this impulse alone, and also you could have considered all this a correction for a drop. So the best case scenario from that point, for example, and you can review my analysis at any time, was an up move and a drop for that running flat. That was the least scenario, and the best one was an up move, break the top, and then drop. So at all case, this was a drop after that. All right, simply because there were many moves that were not complete, that was not complete yet. All right, and since this drop, I think that this move is completed. So since the drop that we've had right there that came and broke this low, I think that this move is completed. So now I don't expect having an up move and a drop to match this one. I think it's completed. We don't need to talk about this correction anymore. And even this one, in my opinion, is completed. This came and broke that low. It came and broke that low also. So all these moves are completed. We will not talk about it later on. So right now, let's focus on this smaller piece. And as long as this smaller piece, and only this smaller piece, is not completed, you cannot have that bigger move. You have less probability, but really much less probability of having that bigger move. That's why you need to focus on the smaller time frame before you get the bigger move. Now keep in mind that if you're an investor, so if you're not a trader and you're looking for the long term and buy some Bitcoin and hold it for the long term, you don't care about those small corrections. You just gotta keep in mind for the daily that you're at the low. It's looking like an end of a structure. You're looking for an up move at least to give a correction to this drop. Then it's a right moment to buy. So in the long term, you don't even care. You know it's a right moment to buy. The more complicated part will be to sell, but you will see that later. So you know that this is a good entry. You're just looking for the selling part that will come later on. So for an investor, there's not much question to ask, but for a trader, if you're looking to trade this up move, that you must complete this move. All right, and this move, what's this move? Let me break it down with you right now. I can tell you from right now that we have really a lot of probability to come and break this low. The reason why is because you have this drop. All right, let's start with the impulse. This impulse down and this correction. So up move, correction, up move to complete a bigger correction called expanding flat. So it breaks the top, it breaks the low. You have this up move A, B, C. This is an expanding flat, and this should come with an impulse to come and break the low. Now, when I say it should come with an impulse, it doesn't mean that it's a straight line to the bottom. It just means that this should come pretty fast to break the low. Now, if it comes slowly, I don't care. I even enjoy it a little bit more because that means that we get correction, and that means that we're losing in momentum. So it's even better for the bigger structure. But if it comes quick, as long as it doesn't dip quick to 12K, for example, as long as it doesn't go like this and changing the bigger structure, because if it goes like this, it means that we're changing a little bit the structure. It doesn't seem like it's crawling anymore. It seems like you made a correction for a drop. All right, so this changed the structure a little bit. For example, let me go to FTX pretty quick. So FTX, see, that could have been a crawling move to give some momentum for an up move, but having this impulse, this will probably never recover. I mean, this will never recover. But to tell you, this is one of those that if it goes deep, it changed the technical analysis from the beginning. All right, so now keep in mind that it doesn't really matter if you go to 14K, 12K. It does matter on how fast you go to there. All right, so if you go like this, it does matter. But if you go slowly on 12K, it doesn't matter for the daily structure. All right, so it's a little bit different to understand this concept, but I think you guys will understand it. So basically, right there, what we need to know is that we're looking for a drop because, right, this is the correction for that drop. And after a correction, after a drop, it means we continue to drop. Now, we have this drop and we started to range again. So that means that after this range, we'll have another drop, and the other drop will probably be the drop that will break the low because you're waiting for a drop for the bigger time frame also. So this is probably a 1 hour move. This is a 4 hour move, and the daily chart that we're looking for the up is a daily move. So you see how there's a different move for every time frame. Since the market is fractal, you can be the one trading that 1 hour drop right there. So if this comes up and comes down, which is I think it's the case, you can be trading this 1 hour drop. If you do so, protect yourself at this zone. All right, and if you get into the 1 hour trade, it doesn't mean that you cannot trade this 4 hour trade. All right, this 4 hour drop that should break this low. All right, so the 1 hour trade should break this low, the 4 hour trade should break this one, but you can't take the 1 hour trade for the 4 hour trade also. You will simply have 2 TP. So TP1 will be there and TP2 will be there. All right, you cannot trade the 1 hour with only 1 TP at the 4 hour. It doesn't make sense because at any moment this can come up and then come back down. So come up, take you off, and come back down. The best example is this. So let me zoom in. There were a small setup right there to come and break the low. All right, this was a small setup, and this is almost like a 15-minute setup. All right, let's say 15-minute, but it might be a 1 hour also. But this small flag could have come and break the low, because in the bigger structure, in the 4 hour, let's say, you were looking for that drop. All right, but if you're taking this trade, you got a TP in the bottom of the impulse, because that's your target for the trade you're taking. For this trade, you're taking this as the target. So at least TP, or you protect yourself. So you put your break even on. But you cannot take this trade expecting it to come right there, because at any moment you tag your top and you make a bigger correction. So that's the problem. You can always take a flag, it tags the top and gets a bigger correction, simply because your real target is there. So you know that this trade has a lot of probability to come and at least break this, but you have no clue on how far it will go. Because at any time, yeah, it does something like this. It breaks and makes a bigger correction, and then it will go in the right direction, but you're not in the trade anymore. So that's why taking a trade based off your time frame is important. You need to have a target based off your time frame also. So to recap on this one, I think this will come up, break the top, and this will be a regular flat. And to take this trade, it's possible. You'll get it from somewhere in there, and the first TP will be this. So in there, you at least need to do something, either TP or put your trade on break even, but you at least need to do something. And there, if it goes in the right direction and goes for the 4 hour target as well, then you'll be in the trade and you'll do something in this as well. So you need at least to TP right there also. But you cannot take the trade expecting to go to 12k. Having a price number target is not, in my opinion, the best way to do so. I think you should always have a target based off your analysis. So basically, taking this 4 hour trade thinking it will go to 12k and taking your profits at 12k is not the right thing to do. So I think you should at least TP or protect yourself there. So at least if it comes and simply tags, so let me remove that. If it comes and tags right there, if it comes down and tags this low and then go up, you will not be in the trade anymore. So that's why TP and break even is important, because it can do that. It can surely do something like this. Simply tag this and come up. We never know what will happen in this zone, and no one can tell. So if you see people telling you targets like it will bounce off 14k, just forget about it. Based off our analysis, it will tag this, and after that we have no clue. So we know that we don't know what will happen, and that's the difference. So from that point, you get this flag, it's come down, you break this low, and you look for buy setup. So you're still in the short. If it keeps dropping, you're there, but you look for impulse and flags, because the next direction will probably be the up move that I'm talking about for the daily charts, simply because there is not any more move to complete. So there's less chance that you get an impulse and another impulse. All right, there's more chance that you get an impulse, a correction, and that you get time to get into the trade, or time to see that up move coming. So less probability of having 2 impulse back in the row and screwing up your trade. All right, so for Bitcoin, I think I said it all. This correction is the only one left to be completed, and depending on how it goes after, we'll get to see it. All right, but keep in mind that it doesn't mean that we will tag this low and go back up. All right, it simply means that after tagging this low, the chance of going up are increased a lot. So either it goes up, either it makes a small correction again and come back down. If it wants to keep coming back down, then you'll have correction like this, you'll have correction like this, you'll have correction like this. All right, so if you get a correction like this, it means we're going drop again. But if you get an impulse and a flag, which is why I think we will have this, simply because we increase the chance of having this after every move are complete. So that's why we'll be waiting for this and then an up move. So I think I said it all for Bitcoin. So remember, for 2023, I expect an up move. Now, Ethereum is different, all right? Ethereum in the bigger time frame is different, all right? It's different, and let me break it down. We've got an impulse. Like, you have small correction in this, but I'll skip it. You have an impulse and a bigger correction right there, all right? Then another impulse. So basically, right now, we are probably in a correction that is bigger than Bitcoin. So compared to Bitcoin, where we are looking for a correction bigger than this one, Ethereum, we're probably already in this correction bigger than this one, because you can compare them. They look similar. You have this impulse, you have this impulse, you have this correction, you have this correction, and then we're looking for another impulse that will come and break the top. Another impulse to come and break the top before having a drop, if it wants to drop. So before having this drop, we need that impulse, and we'll probably get that impulse. So it's a matter of time for Ethereum to get that impulse until we get this correction that will be probably correcting all this piece, or maybe at least this small piece. All right, so we'll get to see it. For Ethereum, we're looking for an up move, and compared to Bitcoin, where we have no clue what this up move will go, so we have no clue where it will go. We have no target, no clue. And Ethereum, it's different. We know that it will at least reach this top. All right, so as long as this bottom is not broken, we see this pattern as a regular flat in the wave theory, and this will at least break the top before it does something else. So at least break the top before it drops, and if it doesn't want to drop, we'll see a flag, and it will show some way that we're going to go up still. All right, in any way it will show that. So basically, for Ethereum, what you got to keep in mind is that also, just like Bitcoin, you got to focus the smaller move, so you have no move left, no move left to be completed. So for instance, this one, you have a regular flat, which is a perfect correction right there, then a drop, and another regular flat right there, that is a correction also. So for Ethereum, basically, I think that this will go down. All right, I think that this is a right setup right there. At any moment, this should come down. So basically, it's only a matter of trigger point. Either Bitcoin's drop, either you have a news, whatever. At any moment, this will drop, at least break this bottom, and at best this one. All right, so this will probably drop, but it doesn't mean breaking this one. And it even means the other way. All right, it even means that this should probably go up after that. So basically, I know it's not that clear, but the main target for the bigger structure is this. So as long as this is not broken, you look for an up move, but this could be broken at any time, and this as well, and it doesn't change this arrow. All right, so that's what I meant. So basically, if you're getting in the short right there, first TP right there, second TP right there. All right, and you don't aim like 900 or 1000. You don't aim these type of number. You simply aim the structure, which is this bottom and this bottom. So for Ethereum, what I expect is this coming and breaking this low, and then we should have an up move to come and break the top. Now you're probably asking, what if this comes down and break the low? It's okay, it can do that. It generally don't do that, but it can. And if it does that, we're looking for an up move that will come up and not break this top before having a drop. So basically, you're running flat, like we've seen plenty of time for Ethereum, for example, this one. So what if this move comes and break this low? Then you're looking for an up move and a drop. So same thing for Ethereum. If it comes and break the low, you're looking for an up move and a drop. And now you're probably asking, how can you know if it's gonna break the low or not? You don't know if it's gonna break the low or not. You simply try to find buy setup, knowing that direction is going up as long as you don't break it. So you don't know if this is gonna do that, but you know that if this do that, you'll be in the trade. All right, so if this do something like this, you'll be in the trade and you'll try that, but you don't know for sure that it will do that. And that's why you don't simply put a buy order right there, a stop loss there, and you wait for it to come up and the TP there, and you have nothing to do, you simply wait. No, it doesn't work like this. You need to find your setup, find everything that match with this analysis. So you can even be using indicators. It doesn't matter if you know the direction into using the wave theory. You know the direction. If your indicators and other stuff, fundamentals, news, whatever, tells you that this should go up and you have something like this, then try it out. All right. And if it tells you that it should go up, but you have only this, or worst, you have something like this, so something looking more like a correction, then I would not try it, because at any moment you get a spike down and this becomes another structure, which is a running flat, like I said, that will come and continue. All right. The only difference between regular flat and running flat, so between this breaking the low right there or not, is that the running flat tells you that this will probably do that for a reversal, so you increase the chance of having this down arrow after that, compared to the regular flat, which, and let me put it on the different color, tells you that this will break the top, and when this breaks the top, it's kind of a change reversal in the smaller time frame. So this increased the chance of having this little flag right there and this up move. So you increase the reversal by having a regular flat compared to the running flat. And the reason why is simply because the running flat stays within the trend. So you have lower low, lower high, compared to the regular flat where you have higher low and higher high. So that's the only difference. And right there, using the wave theory, we don't see any W, any whatever. We simply see impulses, correction based off trends and fractal. That's it. That's what we use, and we are able to forecast moves just based off that. So basically, no need to know if it will go down, break this low or not. You only know that this is the possibilities from Ethereum right now. And now in smaller time frame, you look for impulse correction if you're looking to take an up move, and for dump correction if you're looking to take a drop, because these moves will lead to an impulse and this one to a drop. And that's where that's when you're able to get the move. So for example, this is to me a correction for that drop, and this will probably go down, and even more because you have an impulse right there. You have an impulse right there and a correction. So even more because of that, this will probably go down. This has more probability of going down, maybe 80%, right? If by I don't know, by any point it comes up and break this top, it's changed the structure, but it doesn't change the direction. You make a bigger move. All right, this will probably do that, and at this point you'll see if it drops or if it starts the up move that you look for. Most likely it will drop. All right, but anyway, let's focus move by move. That's how you should do it in the wave theory. Focus piece by piece until you get the thing. So basically this should come and break the low, and when the low is broken in this zone, I'll be looking for buys. If we have buy set up, perfect. If we don't, it's okay. We'll let it break the low and then go for the other move. All right, the running flat. So that's it for this video, guys. I don't want it to be too long, so you guys will still watch it. I think it's pretty interesting video. If you're using the wave theory, you will learn many things, and even if you don't, this will give you a clue on the direction for the bigger time frame. So Ethereum, also the bigger time frame is at first complete this move for 2024. So before the line right there, I think that we will at least complete this move. So at least this, and at best this will be a trend reversal, so we never know, but at least this up move. So that's the trade we'll be looking for 2023, and it will be a pretty amazing trade if we get it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it, and leave a comment and a like below. Share it to your friends and let me know about the feedbacks, what you think about this video, if you like it and if you love more about it. So until next time, take care.